Hey guys, this is Ultima from S3R Gamers, and welcome to Actual Sunlight. I made a decision to play this game a while back on this channel, and I told myself I'd do it the next time there was Mental Health Awareness Month. I'd kind of forgotten about that, didn't realize it was in May, which is kind of sad that I wish there was more promotion for it like there are so many other awareness months. But alas, it is still Mental Health Awareness Month. It is, I believe, May 25th right now. And so before this month ends, I am going to play through Actual Sunlight. This is a game very much about depression. There's a lot of dark themes and dark, what's the word? A lot of dark and depressing themes in general. This hits home with a lot of things, and as I've mentioned in a previous vlog, mental health is something that's very important to me because it's all things I struggle with. So, we're going to play Actual Sunlight, and I hope that for anyone that watches this, if you know someone with mental health, or you've experienced it yourself, maybe we get something out of this playthrough. So let's go. New game. This is actually my second time playing through this game. I played through it on my own. Language. We're going to go ahead and speak in English. Please note, Actual Sunlight deals with extremely mature themes including depression and thoughts of suicide. Player discretion is strongly advised, and this game is not appropriate for players under the age of 18. Do you want to continue? Yes. Don't worry, I wouldn't have bought the game if I didn't. Why kill yourself today when you could masturbate tomorrow? By Evan Winter. What? I know what you're thinking. Why keep getting up? Day in and day out. Even though your life is going nowhere. Where's the alarm? Got up, turned the alarm off, back to bed. No raises, no promotions, no hope, no future. And let's face it, no love. But don't feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for exploited immigrants who have their fingers shattered while stocking shelves in the graveyard shift at monolithic retailers. Feel bad for the soldiers of pointless wars who have their arms blown off by IEDs. Feel bad for arthritic, long-haul truck drivers who need every firm grasp they have left for the dark roads and bottom crashing races ahead. No matter how bad things get, none of those people can live the life that you can. A life of pathetic, punching resignation. You are lucky. You have food, you have water, and you have shelter. Shelter that specifically includes at least one room with a locking door, an internet connection, and a computer you don't share with your elderly parents. No king leaves you too exhausted from one type of hammering to indulge in another. No bishop lives to tell you not to bash yours. There has never been a better time in the history of mankind to be completely, cripplingly, devastatingly alone. And yet here you are, thinking about giving up on the good times, not realizing that you still have so much to live for, that there is still so much to jerk off to. After all, the world is alive. Alive with people as fat, shallow, and broken as you are. Alive with beautiful women that have been lied to all their lives, who get on buses bound for your pornography. Alive with the seething sadness of all our breaking dreams, and I hope that you read these words and realize that there is still so much inside of you, just waiting to come out. I hope you promise yourself to live to see the day that you truly fall in love at first sight. Lock your eyes onto a look you've waited a lifetime to see. Hit the pause button, take a deep breath, and know what it would be like to be wanted, even if it isn't for the right reasons, by anybody. If only for a moment. Patient Transcript. Evan Winter. Why did you set your alarm clock for 5 a.m. every morning even though you would never get up for it? Why hit snooze for 2 hours? I wanted to start exercising. I mean, look at me. I had to. Then why didn't you? I don't know. I guess the night before, you feel like tomorrow will be different. Every night you think tomorrow is the day you're going to do it. Start exercising? Start everything. Use the arrow keys to move, Z to interact, X to save and quit, F5 to toggle full screen. Alright, Z to interact. A Sony e-reader, definitely obsolete by now. Creative writing, 497Y, University of Toronto. Instructor, Evan Winter. First day lecture notes. The first thing you should know about being a writer is that it will turn you into a person who will find every excuse not to write. In fact, like many things in life, the more you want it to happen, the stupider about it you will get. A lot of people will never relate to this. A lot of people don't know what it's like to badly want something that very few people will ever get to have. And I'm not talking about money or fame, obviously. Everybody wants that. I'm talking about the deeply felt desire to say something that is painful in a way that is both beautiful and true. But without discipline, this desire will melt you into a crazy, miserable head. I'll give you an example. I remember when I decided that enough was enough, and that I was finally going to get serious about becoming an author. I went straight to the nearest bookstore to buy every book about writing that I could get my hands on. I was prepared to do anything, absolutely anything, except actually sit down and write. There were so many books that I felt I had to read before I could attempt to write anything that I bought a $300 e-reader instead of trying to carry them all home. Of course, I also planned to actually read all the books that I had supposedly read in school. That e-reader sat on my nightstand and collected dust for years. Here is my computer. Review, Awake. The Something Awful Forums. By Redwinter47. I'm posting this review because I think the community has built up around this game as nothing but a moronic circle jerk. People have taken the fact that it has some false sliver of artistic credibility and blown it out to ridiculousness as a way of feeling better about something that we all know is true about video games. That they are crappy, anesthetic way that we have spent our crappy, anesthetized lives. That's a hard word for me to say, apparently. It is not great that the game has 10 different endings that require over 100 hours of average playtime to see. I'm curious, is he talking about Alan Wake? That's just a way of making you feel like you could be special, which is exactly what you never have. It is not romantic that the game deals with broad themes of loneliness and despair. You are actually alone. You are actually in despair. You know there's nothing romantic about it. None of it includes a longing gaze into the moonlight. It's just pizza pops and perversion until you have a stroke and your parents spend their retirement looking after you. Finally, it is not filled with rich, textured characters whose relationships and dialogue will pull at your heartstrings. It is hours of endless drivel that proffers completely childish conceptions of intimacy and togetherness for the sole and pandering purpose of tricking you into the fake warmth of delusionally believing that you relate to something that you only wish you did. And you believe these things because you are nothing. You've never read a book that didn't have a dragon or a laser gun on the cover. You live in a filthy, dark room with a laptop and a soda-stained mousepad. And you play Awake not because it is about human beings, but because you desperately wish you were a human being in the first place. But you are not. You are not the hero. You are the monster. User was banned for this post. Reason, too long didn't read. Faggot. Well, that was a little harsh. From Junior Assistant Executive Administrator to Director Corporate Communications, subject, no subject. Would like to look at the transcript below and develop new messaging for transitional compensation interviews by COB. Program is excellent, so this problem is obviously in how your shop is telling HR to pitch it. Begin transcript. Thanks for coming in this morning, Evan. Sure. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. Time and time again, I've said that the one thing we need in this company, besides our top executive talent, are young people. Young people who don't just go back to bed instead of waking up. Young people who don't just walk around in a trance as if they have no future. Young people who won't let their peers down, even when they're asked to do more with less. Sounds like it would be a shame to lose young people like that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I really hope you'll consider staying on with us, even though your compensation package will be transitioning from a direct model to an experimental one. A what? A new perspective, a new opportunity to really show us what you're made of. I just want to be completely clear on this. You're talking about no money, right? Well, the philosophy that we're embracing is something that we call life stage-based compensation. We want to hone in on exactly what the needs are for each of our employee groups based on their current life phase. So, for an employee of your age and demographic profile, we know that all you're really looking for is mentorship, energy drinks, and a very, very high quantity of work that will really give you an exposure to the professional environment that you're looking for. I'm 28 years old. I'm not sure what demographic profile you're thinking I fit into. There are a lot of factors there. I mean, there are people here who have families to support, and as you'll no doubt recall from our mission and vision statements, this is a family company. I watched 3 people who I know have young children here leave here with boxes this morning. That's exactly why they were simply released. It would have been irresponsible for us to offer them a transitional opportunity. We care enough to get them out of here and back into the search for a paying position as quickly as possible. They have people who need them. Do you? Candidate exits. Interview ends. No, that was years ago. I gotta get up. Let's see what's over here on the assembly instructions. Sawdust Dresser by Evan Winter. 1. Attempt to open box. Fail to do so, and rip corrugated cardboard into pieces until dresser parts are exposed. Consider insistence of 2-person assembly to be personal indictment of character and discrimination towards sad loners. Mutter homophobic indignities about uppity Scandinavians and their perfect little shoebox existences. Figure out the assembly of dresser will require actual tools and not just syringe-thin Allen key. Run downstairs to convenience store that thrives on overpriced sundries for emasculate condominium man-children. Buy knockoff Chinese screwdrivers for 3 times normal retail price. Assemble dresser, periodically stopping to drink alone and stretch out re-aggravated lower back injuries. Step 5. Screw up assembly at the very end such that the dresser looks completely fine but drawers are fixed in place and do not actually open. Turn structure around completely, exposing open rear side of dresser, and remove the top drawer entirely, rendering the entire dresser as a giant open hole. Realize that nobody will probably ever see how effed up this is, that it wouldn't be criteria if any girl was actually willing to come here in the first place, and that you're probably just going to leave all your clothes hanging over furniture or stuck in the dryer anyways. Live with it. Wow, that was sad. Okay. So let's go here. Looks like we got, what is this, video games? A PS3. This is the only reason I even own a TV. I sort of use this de facto garbage bin for anything that won't actually rot. It's full of plastic bags from Shoppers Drug Mart at the moment. I'll take a shower first. Alright, time to shower. Take a shower? Yes. Well, aren't we feeling refreshed? Patient Transcript, Evan Winter. Do you ever have suicidal thoughts? What, you mean right now? Are you implying there are situations where you ordinarily would? I don't know. There's a decision like that seems like more responsibility than I could even take for myself. Sometimes I'll stand in the shower for a long time, slowly turning up the temperature of the water till it hurts. Eventually, my body seems to adjust to the pain. I'll turn it up again and again until it hurts so much that I can't go any further. And you think about killing yourself in this way? By burning yourself? I'm not saying that I think this is what suicide is. I just think this is what suicide is like. So you think about suicide more than you have any specific plans to commit it yourself. Is that correct? I guess. How often do you think about these things? A lot. How long have you been thinking this way? A long time. And how does thinking about why you want to do this make you feel? Frustrated, tired, hopeless, reminiscent? Interesting choice of words there. Go to the roof of the building and jump off. I've got a lot of things to do today. I've got a lot of things due today. I'd better eat something and get to the office. An epilogue to the weight loss book I will one day write, by Evan Winter. Before I wrote this book, I had reached a point where all I ever thought about was food. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me relief to a life in which it was actually true. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning knowing that eating something terrible is the only happy thing that is going to happen to you all day? You kill yourself at some horrific job that you're lucky to have, and when it's all over, all you want to do is forget about it. People say you could stop, but you're so huge by now that you realize you would have to stop for years and years on end, and that even then you still might not be good enough for anything or anyone. And by the time you do it, who can even say if anyone will be left? Still, you make a few attempts over the years because a part of you thinks you would be a completely normal person if your weight didn't disqualify you from being one in the first place. Sometimes it even goes well, but in the end, you're still miles behind, and that one crappy feel-good thing you've always had starts calling you. It's calling you when you realize that she isn't interested. It's calling you when you're out with people who don't have to live this way to just be normal. It's calling you when you go out to eat with your parents and you realize what a disappointment you are to them. What a waste of all that energy you were. All the time, it's calling you. Why did I turn off vibrate? Hello? Everything is great, Mom. Yeah, of course I'll have dinner with you guys this weekend. We can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I gotta go to work, Mom. I don't know what's going on with either of them. No, I know. Okay, bye. Either of them. It's been a while since I played this game, so I don't go to the roof. Thought I had something to eat here, but I guess not. I'll get something on the way. Leave the apartment? Yes. Do you want to save your game? Yes. I'll save it under File 2. Take elevator, street, apartment, roof, floor. Let's go to the street. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. Do you understand that in many ways you're very fortunate? What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about who you are. I don't know. Feel an awful lot like a member of that club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges, and there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind dates at ironic board game cafes. Those aren't the type of advantages I'm talking about. I know. But they're the type of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place, aren't they? What would ever change if I lived some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? What do you think? I think it would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretend to accept me now. And that isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is being something but not being a part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Thanks. Have a great day.